The prize, if I do this properly, for everyone, in these times, days and ages, for every gender, any kind of gender. Here I am again, describing the BUS.HIAN years for some unknown reason. I wrote these works years ago. I was considered as terrorist through means that cannot be explainable if only in scientific terms. Hope somebody you understand this. Here we go. This is called chronic assimilation. Take 9. I've been involved in this matter. And here goes. The return of an unbridled sense of justice is a totalitarian nothingness nowadays, where it pleads for more external deceptions in order to inflict disease charm over these who configurate hallucinatory harm. For if resilience must continue to be wise, and then let's just indulge in some more analytical tries to fulfill this so-called illegitimate grandeur with a dose of redemptive splendor. For a faith must be aligned with patriotic obligation. Then the world only loses its universal horizon. For the planet in which we all live in often willingly succumbs towards a Puritan sense of sin. This conflictuality defies everybody without the need of false imagery, false prophets, and chastised deeds, my darling. For our intellect must make our inhibition of souls protect ourselves with the madness of a cruel universe, within the madness of a cruel universe that is obligated to propose a Canadian curse that is in between an overall very brisk autumn fall. There's in between a very brisk autumn fall, but no longer succumbs towards a harsh winter. For the peace of Christ's wood has got rid of its obligatory splinter, and it's quite content without inestimable falsity and ridiculous positivity that, as we all know, belongs to nobody. For the poet, the criminal, the animal, the mercenary, has scrutinized this torrid duty with the realistic detachment from a very prosperous establishment. For without the decoded code of Anglo-Saxon righteousness and a Catholic hex, we will no longer manifest ambiguity within a censored slavery that cannot be denied, for the patriotism must be put on trial if you really want to belong triumphantly on some rancid file. And here's hopefully the prize. I suppose a bummer. And we'll once again here. And this is dedicated, darling, to the BUS.HIAN FBI. The BUS.'s Legacy, Part 3. When death is used as a violent ploy, then perhaps circumstance and coincidental grandeur will no longer replenish ourselves with the unnecessary void called anger, that seemingly soothes any particular American beast with what has the style of a cannibalistic feast. Their own tail, they eat their own tails with self-depreciative precipitation towards an ignorant perpetuation of prefabricated almightiness that is conspicuously dangerous with the invasion of private intellectual programming that is the trap, the true decent device fathoming of someone else's corrupt form of scrutinizing understanding. For if a good lad must be obligatorily be mad, then perhaps their so-called presidential Christian afterglow does truly concede towards a psychiatric show. For if frailty must be absolved by what in our cultural kitchens has quite distinguishedly evolved, you should see all the holograms in my place. Then let their pedigree regards be discarded by the true authoritarian bards that conceptualize future analysis without a corporate catatonic paralysis. You know, I had to recover myself recently with a suicide attempt. But don't worry, I got better. But are we soothed by what is truly fluid and fruitive? And that is to encourage a schizophrenic such as me, although I'm done for, to literally live with the substantiality of defining of his own creativity, bound with universal goals, in order to safekeep the fragile folds that may be beyond the perimeter of their withstanding. For upon a foreign country someone has landed, without the need to be forever branded, with only the illusion of paranoia and anxiety that has prescribed out a good medication in sort of Italian indignation. This is bonded by what has been so restrictively prevented, and that is the freedom of genius in our insensitivity, ingenuity, innocence within our genius, that often begs for its own forgiveness, man, with Jesus and a Peroni, which I can no longer drink. He unrelentlessly warns the bully that perhaps there's no one up there beyond your star-spangled pulley. That is the invisible cohesiveness of Texan stubbornness, as a New Mexican told me once, in 2 terms of me and man. But quite adorably is trying to disenchant all those past cants with often a weak-kneed reminder that it's got to be, that this great nation has got to be gentler and kinder. Please, sir. Otherwise, you will be seemingly unworthy for its truth. You will be seemingly unworthy for its truth. Must be beckoned. Then will lead them towards the mind's judge and jury, without a demented, self-perplexing impetuosity, but with a more endangering cultural prosperity. That's all true. That's only true recourse is to no longer bet on a losing horse and rise above stubborn speakers without the bisexual moon of his instigating readers. For fear must made consume censorship, but a beautiful appraisal of freedom of rights can only depart And only depart from such moronic governmental placements with a writer's sustainment of an inevitable retiree to one day discard us from his scrutinizing idiocies. Hopefully, in the future, being plugged into more feasible democratic frequencies. You know, which I don't think prove to be such. I gotta be America's energy, man. But as long as I get me paid like that, who knows what I'm really all about? It'll be really nice, you know, if she understands intelligent men who live with their mothers because they're dying on me, and she's the only one I really have, and I'm not really like a terrorist, really. I was just used as an experimental ploy for the demented scientific director out there to enjoy, darling. So pay heed and ride that steed. Gung ho. Whoa.
Tremezza!